What's going on, guys? Back with a quick update on the home buying process I'm going through right now. A couple things have popped up, as they always do, so we're going to go into that. Some of the things that you can kind of expect, just an update on the journey and kind of what you should be expecting to have to deal with, all this unnecessary stuff. Well, it's necessary, but it sure does feel like it's a bit much, so we're going to get into that in this video.
Stop wasting money on that dumb shit and instead put it in investment. I know it's tempting. You'll spend it and be broke again.
So the closing process in real estate typically goes between 21 and 45 days, more likely than not at that 30-day mark. And Taylor's about 3 of 4 weeks in, so next week he's expected to close. Along this process, there's been some bumps on the road, but we're going to kind of give you guys updates like we talked about in the past. And so here it is. Starting off, how has the home buying experience been for you? You're 1 week out from closing. How has the appraisal been? How has all of that, the inspection been? What are your thoughts?
Yeah, so if you guys actually remember from our previous video, the inspection went pretty well. Things were more solid than I was anticipating them being. There weren't that many issues. It was a pretty structurally sound house. Now, the big news is the appraisal did come back, and while I was a bit surprised by, the comps they chose, because they went back like almost a year to like October, November of 2022,
Wow.
And the comps were a little bit lower than I was anticipating. The comp still, or the appraisal still came in higher than what I'm offering on the house, which is always good. So that, since it's higher than what I'm offering, I don't have to come out of pocket anything. If it was, lower than what I was offering, then I'd have to make up that difference. So that's always good news. So I wasn't too upset about it, just kind of moving on. But the big thing that's popped up now, like within a week and a half of closing, is the underwriter of my loan is, making a big fuss about some chipping paint and some exposed wiring on the outside, which I know sounds kind of like a serious issue, and it kind of is. But I was just a bit surprised that they came in after the appraisal already said everything's good and everything. So it was a bit funny that they came in, but with FHA loans, they can be a little strict like that. They're more, anal about things, frankly. So now I'm in this whole back and forth with the seller, like, because I want them to pay for it. It's something that they should take care of. They're like, well, we want it to come out of the credits we're already giving you. So it's been a bit of a back and forth kind of thing. So just so I can kind of keep this thing on schedule, I want to close still on the 25th. I'm like, okay, well, you can take up to $1,000 from the credits that you're going to be giving me, and anything above that, it's kind of on you. Anything at or below that, sure, you can take that out of the credits. Just because, like I said, I want to keep this on schedule, because I feel like every day or week this is drawn out, something else pops up, a new paper is needed or some other thing. So I want to get this done.
Yeah, hey, that's the home buying experience, baby. The other thing to note here is he had to get multiple inspections, because you had to get a regular inspection, then you have to get an FHA inspection.
Yeah,
so
same,
regular
same
inspection,
person,
they go. Yeah, they do the normal inspection, but there are FHA requirements that are extra than normal requirements, and that's where this whole extra step is coming in, and they want him to get those exposed wiring. So it's all good things that need to get replaced, but now he's going to potentially have to push back the closing and all of this because he has to get it fixed and reevaluated, so re-inspected that it's done up to code with proper licensing, all of that, to then get it checked off and then push forward on the process. So the FHA is just another step or another hurdle in that process.
Yeah.
So you kind of touched on you're still expecting to close on time, or you're hopeful you can, and you've been working with different people to make sure this happens. That's always a good thing, kind of taking that initiative. Anything in the meantime, like what are you doing to take that initiative, or what extra things are you doing to assure this closes on time?
Well, I've pretty much just been working on communicating with different people to make sure things happen on time. So we're filming this right now on Saturday, August 19th. We plan on, posting this tomorrow, the 20th, and closing on the 25th.
We're really ahead.
Yeah. So we're hoping that the repairs and everything are done by either Monday or Tuesday. I know that the appraiser inspector actually lives in the same town that I'm buying the house, so she was, she's very cool.
Lucky
she's
break.
Like, yeah. I'm like 5 minutes away. You just give me the heads up whenever they're done. I'll get over there. We'll get this done as quick as possible. So I am still optimistic that it gets done in time. But I feel like there's always been something that pops up, some form like, oh, I need this. That's something dealing with the loan processor, all the paperwork she needs. And then I work for a week to get the paper, and she's like, actually, I found a way around it. I'm like, oh my gosh. It has been such a hassle and quite frankly a pain.
Yeah, and I swear, they don't work on it until like the last week before you're going to close, because then you get hit with all these phone calls. Hey, we need this form by tonight at midnight or we can't close. You're like, oh, we all of a sudden figured this out a month in, like all the time. You're just like, what? Okay, whatever. Let's get this form figured out then. They're like everybody has this dire situation you got to solve in the last few days before closing. Like, it's just ridiculous.
Yep.
But since you're so close to closing, less than a week at this point, what are you doing to prepare, especially since you're moving from a different state?
Yeah, well, right now I'm working on it. You can kind of see, guys, that, you know, it's a bit of a mess back here, but just already packing up and everything. I got to figure out how I'm moving, you know, a U-Haul down there because I'm going to pack everything up, and also my car. So I don't know if it's going to be some back and forth, if I'm going to get some help. I'm still finalizing that, even though I know I'm within a week. So I definitely got to, you know, get to it. But there's a lot of stuff up in the air. Stuff I got to figure out, you know, with just the process of moving in. You know, you got to get your utilities and everything. You got to figure out where you're putting things while you're doing some repairs and stuff, because I got a lot to do in the house and everything. That'll be a whole nother video that I hope you guys are looking forward to. I know I am. I'm excited to actually do some hands-on work. I feel like it's definitely more interesting when it's your own house that you're putting some effort into, you know.
More interesting, but more stressful.
Yeah. It means more, and that can be a stressful thing, but a good thing.
Yeah, exactly. Well, awesome. Like we said, guys, this is going to be a short video, just a quick update on where Taylor's at, and he's right here, this close to closing, fingers crossed. So we're at the finish line, and he's going to pull through, and we'll hopefully have another update for you guys soon.
Yeah, hopefully.
But awesome. Thanks, guys, for watching and tuning into this update. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next one.
Yep, thanks, guys.
Stop wasting money on that dumb shit and instead put it in investment. I know it's tempting. You'll spend it and be broke again.